Moving forward, we were talking of Dr. Somiyaji sir, our dear Maestro. He was well known for, I think all of the students here would agree with me, he was well known for being point blank. Correct? When it comes to truth, it is truth, whoever you may be. I don't care. Okay, so one of the truths that he really talked about is Samyoga. Sharira as Samyoga. What is that? Sharirendriya Sattatma Samyoga. Which is greater? Is the Sharira greater? Is the Indriya greater? Is the Manas greater? Oh, as an Atmavadi, you would say, hey, no consciousness means what will the Sharira do? Is Atma greater? He said, look, you are an Ayurveda Vaidya. For you, none of these are great. The Samyoga is the one which is great. So you are the one who is the propounder of the Samyoga of Sharirendriya Sattvatma Samyoga. And very jokingly, he would use an example of your hand. There are 4 fingers here, the 5th one here. As long as you decide to keep your hand just like this, you neither can eat anything nor do any kind of work. So we agree one finger is longer, the other finger is smaller. Each one is the way it has to be. That doesn't make each one greater or less important. But you want to bring it to use, so then make sure you keep it together. So when you actually keep it together, you are able to work. So whenever there's a concept that he had to, through a signal, point out to us when we are making a mistake either on the stage or with the students, and we are leaving out this concept of Samyoga, he would come very slowly near, he would show like this and go away. So somewhere that's a technique to bring back your consciousness to where I belong to. I belong to Ayurveda. And this Ayurveda is all about Samyoga. If it is about Ayu, it is Sharirendriya Sattvatma Samyoga. If it's about a family, it is the love and the harmony that binds the different components, the mother, the father, the children, the grandchildren, and all of them together, which makes it a family. And if it's an organization, it's again from the oldest to the youngest, every component living together for a purpose, connecting together for a purpose together, that is Samyoga. And if it's the society as a whole, he talked about how a Vaidya is responsible for ensuring, nurturing the Samyoga in the society. May it be between families, may it be within a nation or between nations, or even between human beings, animals, Prakriti, nature, and everywhere. So we are the brand ambassadors of harmony in the world, both inner harmony and outer harmony. Now moving forward, let's go to the next presentation. I'm very happy to invite one of our own volunteers, Dr. Sri Nagesh K. Please come over to the stage. Before I read the biodata that I have in front of me, I just remember him as that one student, that seeker, who was ready to drive 45 kilometers in a bike to get 5 minutes of study circle. Which probably not many people would be ready to do. We were all in the study circle, Vakpada study circle. Every day he would drive from the college in Sri College, and by the time he would come, we knew that the clock has struck 5:25 because it closes at 5:30. One day I even asked him, you come from so far, you just get 5 minutes. He said, ma'am, I get 5 minutes. Now, that is the seeker that I see in Dr. Nagesh. And continuing with that, he was a very smart student. He would ensure that he would extend that 5 minutes to 15 minutes. He would come with a list of questions. We had all got so used to it that sir, at the end, after he came, he said, Nam prashne kelor bandrapa, yen prashne. The person who is going to ask question has come? No, come with your question. It came to a level where, by the time it was 5:25, sir's eyes started looking at the staircase, because our study circle happens on the top floor, and there's a staircase right in front of him. So he would start looking like this. So then I say, oh, you're waiting? He would smile at me and say, yes, he'll come. Let's wait. You know, that's the love of a guru, and this is the curiosity and the search, thirst, quest of a student. Well, the professional biodata talks of many achievements, many degrees that he has, starting from MD, PhD in Samhita. And I also know that he is very well known among his students for the classical Ayurveda that he talks about, the Samhita Adhyayana that he does in the college, brings in a ray of hope to many students in the college to believe in themselves, to study Brihatrayi the way it has to be studied, and help them practice it based on the classics, which is again, not very common among it. So he's a member of many boards. He's guided at least more than 11 PG dissertations. He's a co-guide for PhD theses at Sri Krishna Ayush University, Kurukshetra, Haryana. He's been a resource person for more than 25 seminars, given more than 16 guest lectures in different places. But here I welcome our own Dr. Nagesh, the student of Dr. C.S. Somayaji. Please welcome.
Shri Guru Pyanama. Madam took half of the time in praising me only, and I am going to tell her that I will take my own time. So the topic given was Adhyayana Krama of Sharirasthana Brihatrayi, but this is a very formal. So I'm going to talk little informal with this topic, not going to do exactly as it is. As I have learnt from sir, I'm going to explain with as madam said, I had hardly 5 minutes of time in between, like he was, I would like to say that I had 5 minutes because of, he was completing the time of his study circle and he was coming down, picking his bag, going towards the scooter. At that time I was getting 5 minutes. And with that time I was trying to collect as much of information as possible. So topic is informal. I'm not going to explain how Adhyayana Krama is followed in Sharirasthana Brihatrayi as conventionally it is done in the colleges. So this is how I could understand connecting different points. Connecting different points. When sir explained briefly with simple hints and simple explanation, simple nodding, simple smile, I could able to understand whether if I am correct or wrong. So through that I am going to explain. Sharira is not explained only in Sharirasthana. That was very sure. What is explained in Sharirasthana, of course we know all. And what is not explained there, we could get it elsewhere, like in other sthanas like Chikitsasthana, Kalpasthana, Siddhisthana, elsewhere, Sudrasthana mainly. So all those areas we could able to collect the information and connect the points so that you can understand the Sharira better. This is not something which is like an anatomy where everything is explained at one point and you are understanding there and then coming back to the treatment. It is not so. It is like more of a functional. So not only in Chikitsasthana, elsewhere also, as Chikitsa is not explained only in Chikitsasthana, like that Sharira is explained not only in Sharirasthana, it is explained everywhere. And Sharira is the one which is a workable and relatable information, not just the information of the structures we have. So we know all those things. As I said, I got only 5 minutes, and that the time what madam said was, I think I was the time. By the time I was coming and sitting there, okay, this is the time, we will close it off. and I was not understanding why he is closing off the class when as soon as I arrived. Later I realized that he was giving time for me actually. So I am ever grateful for him. At times he used to ask, Henry, like looking at me, and he was expecting me to ask something. When I was not asking, then he was, Enaru keladidiya? Yes sir, I have something. Every day I had something, definitely. So he was taking moment, he was delaying going home for the sake of answering these questions only. So whenever I was reading and coming back and reporting him with more details, what I could understand, he was really, really very happy, and he was adding more information to that. He was giving appreciation through giving more information. It is not like he was praising me, or appreciating me for reading and coming. It was like he was giving little more information. That was the prize I was getting. So like that I could able to collect as much as possible. So among those questions, I had one question. Sir, how long the Basti Netra reaches while giving Basti? It was a casual question. I never expected that I could read so much out of this question only. So how long the Basti Netra reaches while giving Basti? As there are 3 Godavalis, where exactly the Basti Dravya reaches, till where the Basti Netra reaches. Then he was like, okay, Dravya should cross the Godavali, all the Godavali, and the Dravya must reach Pakvasha. We know that it reaches Pakvasha because that is a Vatasthana, and that is the purpose of giving the Basti. But I was not fully convinced. He understood that I am not convinced. He said, okay, go and read that Basti Netra are there, no? Go and read that, you will get. It is there in that. Okay, I went and read regarding that, and what I could understand was really amazing later. And when I came back and reported, he nodded that what you did is right. So Basti Dravya should reach the whole large intestine, which we have been taught all these years, that the large intestine is Pakvasha. So I asked the same thing, sir, should it reach all those areas like ascending colon, transverse and descending colon? He was like, if it reaches there, you will get Vyapata. Okay, then it must not be reaching everywhere. It must be reaching somewhere else. Limited areas only. Let's see what I could understand with that much information. So Arsha Kshetra, it is explained in like this: Artha Panchamangulavakashi Tribhagantaritaha Tisro Gudavaleha Kshetramiti. So Buddha is the Kshetra of Arshas, and this is 4.5 angula. That is Artha Panchamangulavakashi. Panchama angula is Artha. That is 4.5 angula. 5th angula is Artha, means 4.5 angula is the measurement of Buddha. Then 1.5 angula for each Gudavali from distance. Actually, it right from the Gudaushta, which is Artha angula. Then from there it is 1 angula height. We get one more first Gudavali. Then it is 1.5 angula above is second Gudavali. Then above that is another, the deepest one is the Gudavali. We get it. Artha Panchangulam iti. Artha Panchamangulam yasmin tattata etena sa Artha Chaturangula Pramanam Gudamityartha. So it is clearly explained that it is Panchamangula, 5th angula is Artha. We understand that 4.5 angula is the measurement of Guda, total Guda. It is length of that one. And it is mentioned Shankavartanibam Pratyeka Mantarena Saha Sa Ardha Ekangulam Prathama tu Valirantarena Vina Ekangulotchaya Ardhangulastu Gudaushta Idrisham Bottavyam. So the first one, Artha Angula, is the Gudaushta only. From outside to inside we are talking about. From there, it is 1 angula above we get first Gudavali. First Gudavali means initially what we get it from, when we approach from outside, we get the first Gudavali. And then it is further, it is 1.5 and 1.5. Like that it is mentioned. So total it is 4.5 anguli for the Guda total length. Tasya Vali Roma Malika Tastha Upari Ardhayava Matro Gudaushtaha Tasmad Urdhvam Angula Matra Prathama Ditiya Adhyardha Angula. Then Tritiyapi Tathaiva. Like that only the third one also. Like that. The same thing what I explained, it is about Ardha Angula. Then 1 angula, 1.5 and 1.5. Like that. So from outside to inside what we get? It is, outside is Gudaushta, Then the first one what we get is Samvarini, then middle one is the Visarjini, and inside one is the Pravahini. Like that, the arrangement is made like this. And the function, why they are named after, it is based on what they behave and how they act. So keeping that information, we understand that during that Basti Netra, the measurement are explained here in Charaka Siddhisthana. And in Charaka Siddhisthana, it is mentioned at the 6th age we have 6 angula of Basti Netra, total length of Basti Netra it is, not the insertion, it is the total length of Basti Netra. Then at the age of 12, we have 8 angula of Basti Netra. Then at the age of 20, it is 12 angula of Basti Netra. Looking into that, if we can see that at the age of 6, it is 6 angula, 12 at 8, and at 20th age, it is 12 angula. We can see initial phase from 6 to 12 angula, 6 to 12 age, the length yearly it is enhancement of 1/3 of angula. So it is given in Chakrapani itself, the same thing what he has explained. Then later from 12th age to 20th age, it is the enhancement yearly of Ardha angula. So we can understand the Sharira here that from 6 to 12 age, the rate of growth we can understand, which is slower compared to 12 to 20th age, which is quite fast. That was also understood at that time with the help of that measurement may not be deep inside, but we can understand through the measurement of Basti Netra. So looking into that, so 1/4 of Basti Netra is inserted. So if it is 12 angula of the total length of Basti Netra, then we are going to insert the 1/4 of that Basti Netra itself. So length of insertion of Basti Netra as per age, keeping the Madhyama Vaya as a standard, like it is 20th age, the length of Basti Netra is 12 angula, insertion is still 3 angula. So that is the measurement of insertion actually. Then Guda, length of Guda is 4.5 angula, including Guda Ushta, out of which 3 angula is the reachability of Basti Netra. Keeping the 12 angula as the length of that Basti Netra, 3 angula is the insertion we made, and where exactly with that 3 angula it is going to reach. That is the question. That was the question. This indicates the reachability is up to 2/3 of the length of the Guda, where Visarjini Gudavali is at 2/3 length of the Guda. So at the 2/3 length we have Visarjini Gudavali, that is the middle one, and the Basti Netra will be reaching till there. So according to that, we can understand length of Guda per age approximately. This approximate measurement, it may not be exactly same, but approximate. From 6, it is 2 angula is the length of Guda, and 1.5 is the insertion we do of the Basti Netra. 6 angula is the length of total Basti Netra. Like that, in the 12th age, it is 8 angula Basti Netra, then 2 angula is the length of the Basti Netra insertion, and 2.66 angula approximately is the length of Guda at that age. Similarly, at the age of 20, it is 12 angula is the total length, then 3 angula is the insertion, and 4 angula is the length of Guda. Then from there onwards, it continues up to 70th age. It is the same length. So 4 angula is the measurement plus Ardha angula is the Gudaushta. So keeping that Gopucha Sadrisha, Gopucha means not the edge of the tail, which is like a brush, it is not so. It is the total length which is tapering from above downwards. So tapering, it is that shape it should be, and it is keeping that 6 angula in the measurement. I have tried to mark here 1.5 angula. It is not exactly the same location where that this marking is made. It is at the base we have 2 karanikas together for the tying of Basti. Basti Nibandhane Dve, they say. So this is the approximate, the reachability. So when Basti Netra is inserted, it is going to reach to that point. Till there it is going to reach. Now the question is, why not it should reach the 3rd one? Why it is limited to there only? So that was the question I had. I came back to sir and asked the same thing. Is it like you are going to open it, fill the Basti Dravya, close it? Okay, fine. I went and read it back. It was there in Vamaparshva explanation where he explains वामाश्रयैः ग्रहणे गुदे च तत् पार्श्वसंस्थस्य सुखोपलब्धिः लीयन्त एवं वलयश्च तस्मात् सव्यं शयानो अर्हति बस्तिताम्. When it is in the left, when the patient is in the left lateral position, then prakrtiste cha gude gudasya bastina samyak upashleshat. Basti of the patient, not the basti which is given, basti of the patient will be falling over the guda of the patient, his basti lying over the guda of that patient, which is making guda vali to retract. So we are not retracting it physically. We are just making him to sleep in the left lateral position. That by itself it is retracting. So we are not making, we are not using any dilators. Naturally we are using just a position actually. See the beauty. So gudasya bastina samyak upashleshat vyaptir bhavati tatha valayascha lina bhavanti. So it is going to retract and then tena sukham bastir yati. By that basti easily it can be given. And when it is taken out, then the patient is asked to turn supine. When he is turning supine, again the same basti which is lying over the guda of the patient will be coming back to its original position, and guda valis will be coming back to their position so that it is getting closed by itself. We are not using any retractors. So that way, the question was whether basti dravya should be reaching throughout the intestine, throughout the length. No, it should not be. It is there only it is reaching, he said. Sir, but we have been taught so, that the whole length is pakvashya. If it is so, with angrily he said, if it is so, stulantram pakvashya, why he should say in Koshtanga? I went back again and checked, oh yes, it is there. Why stulantra is also mentioned and pakvashya is also mentioned? If both are same, why should he say it separately? Because pakvashya is the vatasthana. So that itself is the vatasthana. Not the whole length of large intestine is vatasthana. And that itself is the place from where it is connectable throughout the sharira. Apadatala murdasthan, doshan pakvashya sthitan, viryena bastiradatte, khasto arko bhurasaniva. Just like Surya, he doesn't come to the bhumi and take out the rasa. He sits there only. Kasto means, khasta means in the akasha only he stays, and from there only he sucks up the bhurasa. In the same way, basti stays in the pakvashya with its virya. It is going to pull off the dosha. Apadatala murdasthan doshan pakvashya sthitan viryena bastiradatte khasto arko bhurasanivan. Like that only it happens. So that itself is the vatasthana, not the whole ascending transverse and descending colon altogether. It is not so. That only that part is vatasthana. And when we give the basti also, that is going to reach to that place only. It is not crossing that, crossing to the transverse colon. It is not going. I thought so earlier, but it is happening so. So that is itself is the vatasthana. We can understand in that ahara paka also, where it is ending with that vata is going to make that vata will be precipitated with this in the pakvasha at the end of the digestion. We know that. So that is going to happen in this location. That we could understand with this. And vata is that this is the place where vata gets like precipitated, or what you may call it as so. And other vata sthanas are connectable with this one only, which is the pradhana sthana. Next question was, sir, what is the difference between Unmada and Apasmara? When it is said that dosha will lodge in Manavasrotas in both. However, Manavasrotas we don't have it in separately mentioned in the list of Srotas. Anything can be Manavasrotas. True. Okay. Now, it is not the same. Location varies. Both are Manavasrotas only. It is mentioned no, in the Samprapti. Okay, I went and saw. ಶಿರಸಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಾಣಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಣವಹಾನ ಚ ಶ್ರೋತಾಂಸಿ ಸೂರ್ಯಮಿವ ಗಭಸ್ತೆಯ ಸಂಶಿತಾನಿ. Gabasti means kirana. Suryamiva gabhasteya samshitani. Just like Surya Kirana, it is present. Indriya and Indriyani, Indriya pranavahani cha srotamsi. In Shiras, what are all components present? It is the Indriyas are present, Indriya Adhishtanas are present, not Indriyas, Indriya Adhishtanas are present. Then Indriya Pranavahancha Srotamsi. We didn't hear this also. We heard about Pranava Srotas. What is Indriya Pranava Srotas? Because there it is importance is given even for Indriya. Indriya Pranava Srotas, then what it actually makes Vahana in that? Whether it makes the Vahana of the Indriyas there? Yes, it makes the Vahana of the Indriya Buddhi. Of course, it is not a Indriya itself. Indriya Buddhi it is going to, because it is connected to Indriyas and perceives the Vishaya from outside. So it is like Shirasi Indriyani, Indriya Pranavahancha Srotamsi, Indriyani cha Pranavahancha Srotamsi, Indriya Pranavahancha Srotamsi. So it is present there. So that is the Pranava Srotas itself. In the Shiras, we call it so as Indriya Pranava Srotas. Now it is Indriya Pranava Srotas you may call it as, or Indriya Ayatana you may call it as. It is okay. Ayatana is Srotas only. Now in Unmada Samprapti, if you see, Manasi Upahate, please focus on that highlighted one. Manasi Upahate, Buddhaucha Prachalitayam, Abhyudirna Doshaha Prakupita, Hridayam Upasritya, Manovahani Srotamsi Avritya Janayanti Unmadam. Here he doesn't speak about Indriyas. He speaks about Buddhaucha Prachalitayam and Abhyudirna Doshaha Prakupita, Hridayam Upasritya, Manovahani Srotamsi Avritya Janayanti Unmadam. Now these two are connectable only. We know that. Pranava Srotas is connecting Hridaya and Shiras. We know that very well. And here, Manasi Upahate Buddhaucha Prachalitayam Abhyudirna Doshaha Prakupita. Hridayam Upasrityam is Hridayam Prapya or Hridayam Pravishya. It reaches into Hridaya. And there are components in Hridaya only where doshas are affecting those different locations and mobilizing or disturbing the buddhi, and that's why we get the symptoms of Unmada. In Apasmara Samprapti, if we see, Chetasam Antaratmanah Shrishtatamam Ayatanam Hridayam Upasritya. Again, Shrishtatamam Ayatanam, when it is said, when Tama word comes, we have to understand the three components are by default they are present. When we are speaking about dosha vikalpa, it is about, when we are speaking about dvandva doshas only, it is only vriddha, vriddhatara. Only two components are spoken. Vriddhatama is not spoken. When vriddhatama is spoken, we have to understand that we are speaking about some sannipata dosha. So vriddha, vriddhatara, vriddhatama. So when it is shreshtatamam ayatanam, when it is spoken, this is the shreshtatama ayatana. Hridaya is the shreshtatama ayatana. Then there could be some shreshtatara ayatana, don't know. There could be Shrestha Ayatana, don't know, it could be. My knowledge is limited to that. But one thing was clear. When scientists were saying that they are making the transplantation of heart transplantation when they do, I had this question that, okay, that is a Chetana Sthana. If that is taken and given to someone, what about the Chetana? Where will it go? So this was the one single word answer. Shreshtatamam Ayatana means in Sharira only they have other Ayatanas. Shreshtatara or Shreshta Ayatanas elsewhere where Atma or the Chetana Dhatu can take shelter, but Shreshtatama is Hridaya. By that we understand that there are other components also where it can take perhaps the temporary enlargement it can do. So when heart transplanted persons behave as usual, maybe some added behavior of the person to whom that Hridaya belongs, but it doesn't happen so exactly. He behaves like as he was. Because Shreshtatama Ayatana, again it is the location where it comes and relodges. And Hridayam Upasritya Uparithishtante, he was speaking particularly about Uparithishtante also. Tata Indriya Ayatana. This is the difference between Unmada and Apasmara. Indriya Ayatana also it is going to lodge. This is the difference. Now coming to this Vyapti of the dosha in Unmada and Apasmara, whereas we understand that Hridaya is the Vyapti of Unmada, where the different dosha enlargement, Buddhi, Prachalitayam, those things are happening in Unmada, that is in Hridaya only. And in Apasmara it has got a Vyapti from Hridaya till the Indriya Ayatana. I had this question to sir. Sir, you are telling so, then is there physically present these locations? Yeah, it is there. No, you can see. Locations are there. He was laughing at me and saying that there are the places where involuntarily it is going to trigger the heartbeat. Who is doing that then? So the question was whether SA node is a Chetana Sthana and AV node is whether Manovan Buddhi Sthana. It is very crude way of comparison, I understand it, but this is a question I still have it. Mandala is a sthana of Indriyas. Third question. Sir, during Garbha Vruddhi, it is mentioned that various other components contributing, but only Shukra and Shonita Samyoga were there. So Shukra Shonitam Garbha Shastam, we know that. But it is not just that much, it is Atma Prakriti Vikara Samurchitam also. There are other components also. So what I asked was incomplete one actually to him. There is a mutual involvement of components for the development. It is not only Shukra and Shonita who are doing it, but there are mutual that contribution and involvement they do. It is like if something is produced, it is re-involving into the production of different organs. Like Garbhasya Kritplihano, Shonita Phena Prabhavaha Papusaha, Shonita Kitta Prabhavaha Undukaha. Okay, this question was asked in the very long ago when initially I was going. So, Tam Pachamanam. It is during the Pakavastha that when Shukra Shonita Samyoga happens, it doesn't simply just combine and sit, there is a Paka happening there. So, Tam Pachamanam. These developments happen one after other, step by step. We are going to see that. Tam Pachamanam Pittena Vayaschapi Anudhavati Tato Asyantarani Jayate Gudam Bastischa Dehinaha. So, developments are continuous. The product out of some development re-involves to create another organ or another next. Ushma of the Pitta and Vayu distinguishes the Srotas, divides Pishita to make Peshi, then Ushma and Vayu, Sneha of Medas, Sira and Snayu are developed. So the thing is, Garbha receives the ready-made rasa from the mother. From there onwards, it is going to develop. Further dhatus are developed in the Garbha. So for that, the Paka would be necessary, and it is progressive. And in the Garbha, it is a mutual development of mutual involvement of the different products of development only in the development of further organs. Like Kapha Rakta Vahinam Srotasam Mahabhutanam cha Prasadat Indriyani cha Atmiya Agnina Paka Parinamat Prasadat Chakshuradi Indriyani Bhavanti. So Indriya Adhishtanas are produced by the Paka which is happening in that Garbha, by the Paka of these Mahabhutas only, progressively they are contributing. During the Paka of Asrak, Shat Tvacha are produced, just like we all know about this one. When Paka happens, that Tvacha will be produced just like Shira Santanika. And Upamana of Kadali Dala is given. Kadali Dalavat Antare Kramena Vartante. So we do not see the external layer of that Kadali into developing into newer one. It is the inside, internal and internal. It is that internal layers are developed progressively. From inside the development happens. In the same way, outside initially the layer is formed like Tvacha, and inside the development happens progressively, one after the other. Ghani bhavasya alpi bhavapada apadanacha. So here once it hardens up, when that layer is formed, once it hardens up, it becomes thinner. Like that the development goes on happening. Through mutual cooperation, involvement and engagement as it happens between the Mahabhutas, it is mentioned here as Parasparam Upakaraha and Dharana Samhanana Paridama Vyuhavakashadani Parasparam Upakaraha Tasma Upakaraha Tasma Yatha Parthiva Dravya Parthivakyam Budam Balavad Ekam Sheshani Sariladi Dini Chatvari. Like that the development happens progressively. Further, Paramanu Bhedena, innumerability, it is going to reach. Here one thing we have to see, Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Samyoga Vibhagabhyam, Sharira Bhavena Vartate. So it is going to, for Sajatiya and Vijatiya, Samyoga Vibhaga, Sharira Bhavena. So Sajatiya Samyoga, Vijatiya Vibhaga. So these are the developments happening during the production of the different organs. So what is the reason for all these? This is definitely, it is the Daiva and Purushakara. Karma Adhara, it is Prerita Vayu, does the division, union of Paramanu. Here comes the picture that different developmental defects when the patient complains of, it is because of Karma Prerita Vayu. It is who does it. Karma, of course, the patient had it earlier, previously done karma, whichever it may be, how it is going to impact really on the development. It is the Karma Prerita Vayu which is going to make these differences. Vayus tat kriyatvad karanam. Karma chodita vayuvashat samyuktaha paramanavaha karyadravyam arabhante. Dvayanukadikramena. So Dvayanukadikrama, we have learnt it in that Sankhya Darshana, that how it is going to lead to Dvayanuka, Trayanuka, Trasareno, and like that the development happens from the Sukshma Avastha, Abhyakta Avastha. So like that only, where that development is caused by that interference of that Vayu only. Vayu Karana Devacha Paramanuna Vibhagat Samyoga Vinashena Karyadravya Vishesha. Samyoga, it is the reason for the development, of course. Samyoga Vinasha is the reason for the Karyadravya Vishesha also. Karyadravya is produced by the Samyoga. Samyoga Vibhaga Samyoga Nasha is the reason for Karyadravya Vishesha. So Samanya Visheshas are spoken here. So Samanyatva is because of the Samyoga, and Samyoga Nasha will be the reason for the Karyadravya Vishesha. Question 4. Sir, a patient had a breathlessness, came with a pre-diagnosis of pleural effusion. I think there is a session regarding this in detail, we can see, learn it there. Was that a right lung? Question asked. Oh, yes sir, but true, but we have, it could be any lung, no, how can it be so specific? No, it could be right lung. Did you check? Yes, it is true, truly it is right lung only. How can you say it? Because pupus are 2 in number. Who said pupus has 2 in number? Where is it said it is a Dvivachana? That was the answer. Angrily he says so, like that. Yeah, true. It was not used. Bahuvachana. Hridayam punaha shleshma rakta prasadat sambhavati padma kosha sankasham sushiram adhomukam. That is beautifully explained about the Hridaya. Then further, tasya vama parshve pliha puppusascha dakshinato yakrit lomacha. Where is it mentioned as puppusau? Not mentioned, no? Yes, sir, it is not mentioned. Then only there is one pupusa. Then what is another one? He just smiled, didn't say. He wanted me to learn. Damanyaha pranavaha. Hridayam yadashayahi. Damanyaha pranavaha. Tasya adho vamataha pliha pupusascha dakshinato yakrit klomacha tad visheshena chetanasthanam. So while speaking about the location of the Hridaya, we got to learn about the pupusa and the kloma also. So kloma is the one which is on the right side, and left side what we have it is the pupusa. So of course the most common lung to get affected by the pleural effusion is the left lung only. Right lung only. Most of this, where kloma is said to be present as per the reference. So right lung, he said it is identified as a kloma. Left lung is a pupusa. It is not, both are pupusa as we identify lungs as 2 in modern science. Let us not identify in the same way as pupusa means lungs. Okay, both are pupusa. It is not so. Some other experiences. Vyathyasa Chikitsa in Kasa. So took a case to him. Sir, there is a case where it is the dry cough the patient has. Now, the patient had Yashtimatu Chodna. Okay, I'm giving it with Grita because it is a dry cough. Yeah, I'm giving it. So it is not coming down, what to do? So he said that if it is not coming down by Grita, it means it is not Kevala Vata. But it is only dry, sir. He is not coughing anything, not even spitting anything. No, inside there will be kapha smeared somewhere. Alli madhya kapha antkondirutte nodu. Is it so? Okay, then what shall I give it with honey, sir? Do Vyathyasa Chikitsa. Okay, I came back and thought of giving it with honey, with madhu in the kapha kala. And with the same Grita in the Vatakala, I gave it so. So in a single day, the patient said that, called and said that, okay sir, I got improvement immediately. I could understand, okay, this is the way we have to understand there also. Vyathyasa Chikitsa is not just by the Aushadas. Vyathyasa Chikitsa, we could make it in Aushadha Kala also. Vyathyasa Chikitsa, we could do it in the form of Anupana also. It is not just about the Dravya we are using, it is about the time also. So that I could understand with that. When a small kid of 2 years had hydrocephalus due to excess IV infusion for fever. So a small kid was brought, head was relatively bigger. So it was advised that there will be a like a passage created from the ventricles here towards the abdomen to drain the excess water. So patient was, was only 2 kids and parents were a little anxious to do that. Then I brought this case to sir, this is the situation, what to do. And sir said, okay, we'll see that. When he saw that, he asked 2 questions. Whether baby is sleeping properly? Yes. Okay. Whether baby is active? Okay. It is responding for your stimulus? Yes. Don't do anything. So sir did not believe in giving medicines only. We should know where not to give medicine also. And he said that, okay, just leave it so, and the baby may vomit, perhaps, or there may be loose motions. So by that it will be, you keep it warm, that's all. I understood, he is speaking about something about Udakavasrotas, okay, must be there. So it happened, so in 1 month approximately, no treatment was given, by itself it came down. Nothing, no interventions, nothing was done. So it came down, baby was absolutely normal. So we should understand where not to give medicine also. It is not to dump the medicine when patient comes to us. Initial stage of throat cancer, treated with Kavala. So this is also an old case where, sir, the patient is coming with a ready diagnosis that he is diagnosed with pharyngeal cancer. What to do for it? Should we give, treat it like something like Arbuda? Do Kavala. He surprisingly, he explained one case when he did it so with Kavala. He did it only with Taila Gandusha he did, and how he could expel the dosha he explained. He told me to do the Kavala with a regular, ask him to chew the Tambula. Okay, sir, Tambula I gave. Any specific content, add little salt. Okay, I gave it little salt. Patient, next day, when he said, patient said that he vomited blood. But he was little anxious. I was little, got anxious and I asked sir again, don't worry, just wait. Let it go. What he said, Sthanika dosha is there, whatever it is, dosha kala elibeko. Because dosha is an integral part of any disease, we know that. We should pull the dosha out, let it go out. So when patient vomited further, maybe once or twice he vomited that, next day he was like, okay, I feel good, nothing else is happening. Then sir said, okay, go and let him check it. We went and checked, there was no cancer as such. I should not be saying that in 1 or 2 days it happened, it is not possible, but it happened in a continuous treatment process. Very initial stage, it was not an advanced stage, of course. So we could see such things. So final remarks, like Sharira is understood by cross-referencing between different chapters and Sthana. So Bastinetra describes about developmental anatomy of Buddha. So they could able to understand how from 6 to 12 age it was slower growth, and 12 to 20th age it was faster growth. How could they be able to understand that? Definitely they understood it. That's why there is a Bastinetra difference. That's what Jeswar said. Otherwise you could have used the same Bastinetra to everyone, right? No, you should not be using it because the idea is different. The growth is different. Sharira of Buddha is explained in the context of Arshas, indicating that description was made where it is applicable. It is not just about you are explaining like Buddha, you are everything explained in that context only. It is not so. Where is that applicable? there that description of that Sharira was given. So the same pattern is followed everywhere. This is purely functional. It is not something, a structural description. And location of dosha sthana, sthana samshaya may be mentioned identical between the diseases. The difference can be understood by the critical analysis. One more thing I asked regarding this one question. Sir, if I want to send any medicine to a specific location, I don't want this medicine to act throughout the body. I want to act it in a specific location. What to do? One line answer. Send it with whoever is going there. That was the only answer. With that, I rated several cases. That one line statement only. Whoever is going there, I gave whatever I wanted to give, send through him, he will do that job there. The simple statement, but makes a big impact. Garbha Sharira is not vague. It had been explained critically and specifically. Identifying the organs shall follow the descriptions given in classics without a preoccupied mindset of modern anatomy. Please don't do that. We should not be preoccupied with what is explained in modern anatomy. That is good at its place. Learn what is Sharira is explained in our classics. Try to relate, connect the points and understand. We can understand the functional anatomy of yoga. Functional Sharira. Sharira is not divided as physiology and anatomy in us. It is a combined one. It is not, should not be dividing actually. We should not be dividing that physiology and anatomy. It is not so. It is a combined one. So Sharira is one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nagesh, for taking us back in time to those classes. Nostalgic. Any questions? One question we can allow. Time will permit one question. Okay. So I invite Dr. Srinivas Vade sir to please come onto the stage to facilitate Dr. Nagesh. For your information, Dr. Nagesh actually was a part of Orbiter Study Circle that runs in Bijapur under the guidance of Dr. Srinivas Vade. Yes. Dr. Nagesh, please come here. Volunteers? Thank you, Dr. Nagesh, for bringing back the memories of Study Circle. We hope to listen more questions and more answers from you for our own pockets. You agree with me? Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nagesh.